Alright, y'all. We are at the final day of Large Cars and Guitars, and what better way to end it off than with Mr. Stephen Meyer. Some of y'all may know him as the Redneck Trucker, but today we know him as Stephen with Truckers for Christ.
Yeah,
He's helped thousands of lives. He's got just an immaculate community, man. You've really done some incredible things here, Stephen.
ain't nothing to do with me.
Absolutely. Well, let's talk about that. How did Truckers for Christ come about?
Well, about 4 years ago, I was on Disrespected Trucker, Jeremy Johnson's group. Well, there was a post come up that he had put. He wanted to change the direction of the page and ask any pastors or preachers want to do a Sunday service. So I replied back, and then we got to talking and become friends. And so me, Dave Sexton, Nathan Poe, we started doing a 12:30 service on there because a lot of drivers, they're away from home and have to leave out on Sunday. You know, sometimes you ain't got a choice.
Right.
So that's how it started with that, and we had such a good response with it. About a month later, I was on the phone with Jeremy and Greg Anderson, and I told him, I said, you know, it'd be nice to have a place to go. We ain't got to wait on Sunday.
Right.
So that's kind of how Truckers for Christ come about, just an idea. And I had no clue or imagined it had grown and done what it had do,
Right.
because it was nothing to do with me, because it's all about the Lord. He's the one that gets lifted up. He's the one that gets glorified. But we started with there, and as about 2 months in with the group, this is when I started realizing some things. I had my first event I ever got invited to was Miss Arlene's birthday party that had, and USTA had rented the whole fairgrounds out because she had cancer. They called her Mother of Truckers, and she helped everybody. So they rented the fairgrounds out because she had cancer. It wasn't going to be long. So Greg was trying to get me to go and everything else, and so I agreed to it. This and that. You want me, meet CEO, USTA, stuff like that. Mike Landis and all. Well, I went to Arizona, and I was on my way back. They got Georgia going to deliver, and I done talk myself out of it. I'm tired. I don't. I want to go home.
Right.
So at that time, I done told my wife about, the event up there, and she's already wanting to go, and after I done told her that, hey, I'm tired, I'm about to talk myself out of it. She had, of course, she didn't like that too well. So I was over in Georgia, and I get a phone call from Randy Watkins. He owns Watkins Trucking, where I'm leased to, and he said, hey, I got a load out Oxford over there, going up there to Ohio. It went up 20 miles from the fairground. He was paying some insanely amount of money to legal load. I said, I guess I'm going to Ohio.
Yeah.
Hey, you got to recognize when God opens the door, things don't happen by coincidence or luck.
And my grandma calls that a God wink.
That's it.
Yeah.
So I called my wife. I said, we're going to Ohio. So we went up there, delivered that load, and I met with some USTA there, one person, but the event was the next day. So the next day, everybody started pouring in. Me and my wife's out in the truck, and this whole building is full of drivers and everything else. And when you go start walking up to the door, you hear everybody talking now.
Right.
When we walked in, it's like a pin drop. And it kind of got quiet, and I was sitting there thinking, are they something on me or something, I didn't know nobody.
Right.
And the countless people that come up and shake my hand, they say, hey, we know who you are. Okay. Like I said, I don't know nobody. But what got me was the last one. When they come and shook my hand, tears running down the face. They said, no, I want you to know what y'all do, how much it means to us. That got me. Because that then and there, I realized of the impact that we were that Christ was having with the drivers. So like I said, it's all about him. I went back truck. I just broke down, and because from then to now, I've gotten to meet a lot of neat people. I've considered family now because 4 years ago nobody knew who I was. So we try to help as many as we can. You see, we also got a website. It's called www.driverschrisiscenter.org. You can go there and we try to direct people to professional help, but also with suicide, there's a tab there, prevention. Make sure you have a video be me. My phone number will be up there. Same thing like on the 1230 service, there's a phone number link. When it's my turn in rotation, when you call that number, you will get my phone, me. You won't get a voicemail. Right. You won't get a WhatsApp or nothing like it. That's my personal number. Now, we try to deal with counseling about 100, 150 drivers a week. It's mostly suicide because 4 drivers a day commit suicide.
Wow.
Every 13.7 minutes, a man does in the world. So, my main goal is to try to, because it don't cost nothing to be an engineer. It don't cost nothing to be nice. So, my main concern is, especially when the CDOD, I'm a council member of CDODU as well, when they come and ask me about being a council member and they vetted me, I told them, I said, look, I said, that AFC stuff, I said, that's beyond my pay grade. I said, but the only thing I care about is the drivers, right? The people. So they built this website and they helped and they put what I wanted in there, and it's got so big to where they kind of built their whole thing around. Because you won't think about this. Imagine being 1,000 miles away from home. Something goes on at home and you're in an 8-foot box with your worst enemy, and that's yourself. Because it don't matter as much as what others say about you, but what you tell yourself. Because you put nothing but negatives in something, that's all you're going to get out of it. And some people start to slip away and lose, because I know that feeling, because 20 years ago I pulled the trigger and it clicked. So you can't sit there and tell me there is no purpose for your life. We all have purpose. But that's just kind of how it grew. Now we got it up to about, at one time, when we had about 5,500 members, all of a sudden it spiked. I don't know what happened, but it went from 5,500 to 13,000 in 3 days. Me and my mods, because I bet each one of them, I don't let just anybody mod my group, because I'm held responsible of what people see. We was going through about 200 posts a day. Because everything you see on Churches of Christ, we have seen it first. It don't go through unless we approve it. Right. Now, every once in a while something will slip through the cracks, but I'll try to correct it as much as I can. But if anybody ever needs me, you call me, because you ain't alone. Because there's going to come times that we're going to go through valleys in life. You ain't got to take those steps alone. You just call me, we'll take those steps together. Because there's times that when we go through valleys that I look at them as learning pains, stepping stones. I call them birth pains of life, because sometimes that birth pain can be painful. Right. I know what it's like, because there was a time in my life where I didn't want to go on no more. So that was, I've seen so much stuff happen and everything else to where you can't sit there and tell me there's no God. You cannot sit there and tell me that there's not a plan for you. Because there's a plan for each and every one of them.
Amen. Well, Steve.
Now we're up to about 23,000 members, 23,300 members in over 100 countries.
That's incredible. Stephen, you're a man of God. And y'all, if you don't have a friend to turn to, like Stephen, you have the Lord above to turn to. Check out Truckers for Christ. Thank y'all for tuning in. Find Stephen here, Stephen Meyer. He's all over the place. Redneck Trucker. But most importantly, Facebook, Truckers for Christ. If you need help, you have a friend.
Just Google Truckers for Christ, and most time either the group or something like that come up. If you go on, there's a Truckers for Christ group, a Truckers for Christ page on Facebook. There's also Instagram, Truckers for Christ. Anywhere social media I can think of, either YouTube, TikTok, Truckers for Christ. We can do to get the word out. But if you Google Truckers for Christ, most time the group come up or whatever, the page, or my phone number will come up. And if you ain't got it by now, it's 205-300-7140, 24/7.
Absolutely. Y'all watching? Look at the information below. If you need help, this man will help you out. The community will help you out. And once again, the good Lord above will help you out. Appreciate y'all watching. We'll see you next time.